Hey everybody, welcome to One Crit Blunders Part 2. If you popped in last night, then you saw my first attempt. It was a little trial run there. I kind of babbled on for a little bit. And I talked about my guest that was coming tonight. He's one of the players, and I'm super excited to kind of pick his brain about his character that he's got coming on. And so from Steamhouse Entertainment, director, producer Joe Cahill. How are you, sir?
I am doing good, my friend. How about you?
I'm doing amazing. This has turned out to be a pretty good Tuesday. I am currently also checking out Facebook, and I'm not seeing where it says that we have gone live. So I don't know what that's all about.
Actually, yeah, I see the link.
Cool.
It's like the second down,
All right.
or right above. If you watch last night's One Crit Blunder, it's the one
Cool.
right above it.
Well, perfect. Then we're rocking and rolling. We'll dive right into it, I guess. And you have done a couple of projects with me before that entertaining, we'll say, short lived, but
Well,
bright.
one short-lived and one long-lived.
Yeah, I mean, the brightest flames always burn the quickest. So I kind of want to start about talking about that a little bit. Your previous fifth edition character that we had running together, you were playing, a less
Millwood,
than sane wizard.
Millwood at Belfnor. He was saying it was the rest of you,
Uh huh.
the rest
Yeah.
of the characters that were insane, and he had to keep
Yeah.
rolling his eyes.
Right, and setting things on fire.
Well, that's what battle mages do. I mean, they're good artillery pieces, and he was the best.
Right. Well, did you follow the same kind of thought process when you made your new character for One Crit Blunders, or did you just decide to go something wholly different?
Oh yeah, going wholly different. Zeroth level. Well, I guess we can call him a paladin, but
Mm-hmm.
zeroth level, and he's got himself a major quest in his head. He's already a hero as far as he's concerned because his adoptive grandmotherly type woman convinced him of that. Yeah, she's a former cleric of Tyr before it became illegal. Once the gods all were cast from the realm, and she poured all of this knowledge about Tyr into his head, and the greatness of the gods and how much better it was in the realm before they were cast out. So he has decided in his infinite wisdom and his head that he is going to be a paladin of Tyr, whether it's legal or not, whether he has the support of his god or not, and try to bring the old gods back to the realms.
That's awesome. And that worked so well. I don't even think we really talked about that too terribly much when I gave you guys the details for creating characters, and you just kind of ran with the story. And I was pretty excited to hear about that character.
Yeah, I mean, we're going the whole 9 yards. Parents were executed for being heretics, believing in the gods, and this old lady stuck him out right before the parents were killed when he was a babe, and raised him on the outskirts of town.
That's amazing.
And
Perfect.
And the only way he could even learn how to fight was to become a city watchman.
Which was pretty clever, because one of the rules that I laid down was that the players didn't start with any armors or weapons, and the blacksmiths didn't even forge weapons because it's outlawed. It's like the Dark Ages. And Joe kind of loopholed it, and he's like, "Oh, well, I'm a city guard."
so I have leather armor, a shield, and a spear.
Yeah, I mean, good on you. That's a perfect example of that outside the box thinking. And Melwood was kind of along those same lines. Yeah, he was a battle mage, and he was just kind of blasty, but very creatively played.
Thank you.
I mean, you had some utility spells. You managed to convince a water genie to be your servant. I mean,
that was fun.
That
carry everything and guard the horses.
Yeah, and realistically, in the final moments of that game session, you technically saved every single person that was playing that game by opening the portal that got them out of the demon web pits.
Yep. Yeah.
So that was good times.
That was fun. We were having a good time, and then it just broke apart.
Yep, as all the good games do.
Yeah, as happens.
Yep.
People let personalities and other things get involved. And, I'm not going to go into any details, but from a Facebook post that one player made, and half I think she didn't make it. He shared it. Just shared a post, and 70% of our players turned and dropped out. Yeah, we can't play with him. I'm like, what? Grow up.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy. I tell you.
I was so disappointed in a lot of people, especially for a game we were having so much fun with as a group, to suddenly just dissolve, within 24 hours.
Oh yeah, it was very, very quick.
Harsh disintegration.
Mm-hmm. But when the idea for One Crit Blunders even remotely popped into my head, I thought, well, I'm going to get all these different podcasters from different podcast D&D shows together to be the players, because I thought that'd be a neat little idea.
Right.
And I reached out to you because of our previous games that we had played together, and even your character in the Starfinder game that we had, that was also just kind of, I don't know if it fizzled so much as it's kind of on an extended hiatus, but you were playing a Marine, and I was thinking, well, how does a Marine fit into this? What is Joe Cahill's spin on a Marine in space? And you're like, oh, he's a big game hunting tour guide because, outer space, there's lots of monsters, and I loved it.
Yep.
It was perfect.
Yeah. He retired from the Marines and started doing this. Owns his own business and tries to keep people alive.
Yeah.
Out in the woods.
And that's why I'm so excited about your Paladin. I mean, this is going to be awesome to see how this character evolves.
I have to admit, though, I really liked that every single one of our characters, you would think maybe they've watched you DM or played under you, because we all had a go bag ready to go. And in some cases, a go barrel.
Yeah. And I think yourself and Dave are the two that actually have had experience with my DM style before.
Yeah.
Everybody else just kind of really meshes. I think the group itself just really gets along.
Yeah. Well, I think that we have really made a difference because we're doing it live.
Yeah, and that is a huge difference.
Yeah, I mean, I could see the other players. It just makes it a huge difference versus just all voice, which is how
absolutely agree.
How we played previously. And being able to see you, and I can look at you and go, Ray's about to pull something. Everybody, grab your go bags.
Well, see, I guess I'm gonna have to put like a still picture up so that you guys can't see me.
I can't do that, man. We'd all
just like a DM screen.
We're just wear the mask.
Yeah.
Oh look,
yeah, like
good online. That's so.
It's nice seeing your guys' reactions. It's nice seeing you smile and laugh at the different scenarios and jokes and interacting with each other, because if anybody's listened to episode 1, the characters themselves have a little bit of disagreement,
idiosyncrasies,
but the players are great.
Yeah. A few idiosyncrasies with the characters. I mean, we have the amazing barrel maker who hates the box maker on the other side of town, and vice versa, because they're always arguing which is better, boxes or barrels. The barrel maker even had her go bag as barrels. So when I run
go barrel.
So when I run to get her out, she's like, here, and hands me a barrel of all of her shit. to carry for her. It's like, what? She's like, it's like a backpack. Put it on. Okay.
Yeah.
So interesting, and as being non-experienced adventurers as they are, which we're all, I think, playing quite well.
Oh yeah.
Your escape method for us. It took everybody a while to trust it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're poking it, we're prodding it, we're throwing stuff into it.
It's so true.
Finally, somebody jumps in, and then we hear his voice like he's falling. We're like, oh, hell no.
I just like that when it came down to the last little bit, it was you and one other person, and somebody actually quoted the line on our Twitter. You guys were about to stand your ground in that moment. And I made the comment, I said, well, it's a captain and 30 guards versus you and 10 kids. We can make this happen. And somebody actually quoted that line.
Yep. Yeah, and then we all jumped in the hole.
And then you jumped in.
Yep.
That's right.
Well, I said, yeah, you're right. This is hopeless.
But, you all are playing your characters exceedingly better than I could have ever imagined. I think all of you really got into character. And especially you, even though you're 0 level, I think you're playing that protector city guard role very, very well. I like the way that you're doing it.
Thank you. Yeah. Appreciate that.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. And I'm eager to see how, because those protector roles typically continue to grow in that protector mindset. So I'm eager to see what happens when you actually become a paladin. And we see where that plays out.
Right. Just as long as, they don't start running around doing evil.
Right. Yeah.
Then they're going to.
Now, are you going to lop off your hand in honor of Tyr?
Oh, heck no. No, I can't serve him as well.
Okay, that's fair. I'll buy that.
I'm going to be the only paladin of Tyr.
That's fair.
I think I need both hands for that. Although, if he does come back, he may just take one from me.
I don't know if I feel like Tyr's more of like a bro.
Yeah, he's the.
I think he'd be.
I chose him because of the justice thing, and the way the realm is set up right now, a little justice is definitely needed.
Absolutely. And that plot is only going to thicken as we explore further on.
Right.
So we've only done one episode, and it was about an hour and a half episode. A lot of that was kind of spent getting to know the characters, doing background stuff, getting to know the players. So we really didn't get a whole lot of gaming done, but what we did get done, how did you feel it went?
A lot of information in a very short time. You're a crazy dude that ran out into the middle of the square that came out of the garbage heap pile and smelled like it.
Right.
That he started us off right away. And of course, then you throw something that to medieval peoples is scary as hell. Oh, look, an eclipse. Just as he yelled, we're going to have an eclipse. We're kind of like, wait a minute. I was a little curious because I thought some of the players weren't paying quite enough attention to the fact that we were having this huge eclipse or weren't as shocked as they should have been.
Right.
But otherwise, it definitely sent us on our way. And somehow I think we missed the fact that eclipse pinpointed our town for the bad guy and his soldiers.
Right.
Because, wow, they showed up right as it got dark from the eclipse to wipe us all out.
Yep.
Okay, well, this is not good. Grab your go bags. Oh, great. Everybody has one. And let's get out of here.
Yep. There's a lot of little subtle nuances that you got to experience before from when we played 5th edition a while ago. So you kind of know these little tidbits that I like to throw in there. So I think that worked great for your character, though.
Yeah. Well, he's the watchman. He was watching. he saw them come and he goes, okay, the city watch is, me.
Yeah, like, oh, we need to go. Oh, wait,
I am the only one. We're a small village. You know, I
That's
come out and
great.
watch overnight and hope nothing happens during the day. But yeah, it was kind of freaky thinking, I don't really have a group of guys to stand behind me with spears. We can't set up much
Right.
of a pipeline, can we, against those horses? Maybe I could go too.
Heading into the second episode on the 27th, how is there something that you would like to personally see a little bit more of, a little bit less of, is like something in general that you would like to see that would be kind of cool?
Yeah, tier.
All right.
I mean, as far as your game running, no, it was perfect. A lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to even not necessarily see him. But I think my character felt something from the gods themselves when we were diving through the portal thing. And
right.
And he wants to see if he can feel his lord in there, in that group. So he's going to be contemplating that a lot while we march through this featureless black square cave thing.
Yeah.
Thanks for the featureless part.
Well,
it makes it hard to find anything.
Right. The again, one of the things that I like to do when I DM and create a story is I like to throw in little nuances and things like that. And the word that you guys had to speak, Humalaut, is a variation of the Norse word for gods.
Right.
So it was a little head nod to your character and Tyr and kind of pointing you in the direction that this is going to go. So I think you all caught on to that pretty quick. I was pretty happy about that.
Yeah, there were a couple of us that went, huh? I know what that word means.
Yeah.
And there were others that go, I don't care what the damn thing means. Does it work?
Yeah.
Like, get us out of here.
They're like, oh, look, it's glowing. How much can we sell it for?
Well, not much. Here come the guards, those bad guys to kill us all. The raiders are here. Time to leave.
Right.
Which was hard for my character, being a hopeful paladin. Paladins don't like retreating. Not a big thing in common paladin lore. Excuse me.
Right. Got to live to fight another day, though.
And has a bigger quest than dying gloriously in Tyr's name. He has to bring Tyr back first.
Exactly. So I see on our Facebook video, I want to say hello back to you, Kent. It's a pleasure to have you checking this out. I see your message there. I'll go ahead and give it a like here in just a minute. Like, thanks for tuning in, checking this out. I hope you enjoyed episode 1. And if you haven't yet, I hope that you do enjoy it and, get mentally prepared for the chaos that will ensue on episode 2.
Chaos.
We will have our first voice actor joining us. I talked about that yesterday a little bit, but we've got Jason Simpson coming in to play a very special role I've planned out. I think it's going to be equally scary for everybody. So that's going to be fun. For those that don't know him, Jason Simpson is Lord Viren, the main. Well, I don't know if you really. It depends on your point. From a certain point of view, he's the antagonist of the Dragon Prince on Netflix, and he's also been in My Little Pony, Sausage Party.
That just doesn't sound right together.
Yeah, he's done a ton.
Apart.
Well, I mean, some of them brony websites.
That's why I was saying those should have been separated.
But it's guaranteed to be a good time. I've had him join me before, and he played a Scarecrow, an animated Scarecrow for me. And he did a wonderful job. If you get on YouTube, you can find it. It's Shattered Dungeons. It was like a mini arc that we did, and it's on YouTube. I think it was the first episode, maybe second episode. He joins us, and he was playing on an iPad. And I mean, the level of quality and voice that he produced, you would have swore he was in a studio. So this is going to be good fun for next time. But anywho, yeah.
And when are we,
what do you think about?
Next we're shouting it out. What date is that?
27th of this
And
month. Time? Yeah, anytime. No, 9 p.m. is our
Eastern
go
Standard
time, and Eastern Standard. That is correct. And we go till 10:30. So we don't keep everybody up too late, but it's an hour and a half of just action-packed chaos. And I try to keep the dice rolls simple and kind of fast because I know there's nothing more like deadening to a podcast than hearing people doing math. That's not what we're not a algebra podcast. We're here to tell a story. So I try to keep that
and
up.
Our name does say it all.
Yeah. And there was a lot of that.
Very first die roll of the campaign was a 1. Not by me, thank goodness.
Totally.
I was the third one.
Yeah. It was kind of almost awe-inspiring how that worked out, because it was like every roll you guys did right off the bat was just terrible.
Oh yeah, I mean, your roll 20 just looked bad for us. Bad.
Yeah.
It was just a line of 1s. We're like, well, he chose a good name for the show, didn't he? The Blunders.
It totally worked, though. I was absolutely just in love with how everything played out.
I think we only had 1 crit.
Yeah, I think you might be right there.
We only had a single crit, an hour and a half of gameplay. That really sucked.
Yeah. And, next time around, there is going to be some more combat. We had a little tiny bit of combat on episode 1, but this time it's going to be a little bit more in depth. So be prepared. There will be some dice rolls. There will be some math going on as people learn how do you do combat as a level 0 character. What do you think about that? What do you think about having you start off as level 0?
Actually, I've been in campaigns that have done this to us before.
Oh yeah.
I've been playing close to 40 years. So just about every way to start your character out has happened to me. We've started a brand new game. We were allowed to create basically, gods, power characters. And the DM starts the campaign as, okay, you're all at 6,000 feet, free falling. What do you do? You're buried alive. You're all under tons of rubble. And you can't move your limbs to dig yourselves out. What do you do? So starting out at a 0th level character is pretty good, as long as I wake up Tyr and he goes, hey, you're a paladin now, which should get me to 1st level.
Nope. Remember, this is the only podcast handing out negative XP. So
I don't want to remember
that. You guys are going to play for 3 years and still be level 0.
No, I got to go beat on some pig then.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out the logistics of that. I wanted to add an element of being able to grind, but I don't want somebody to have to sit through an hour and a half of you guys killing boars. So, which that kind of became a joke on our private Facebook Messenger group that we have we talked about killing pigs for XP, and we started taking pictures of packages of bacon, and we're like, let the training begin.
Somebody punching it.
But yeah, I mean, I can't really divulge too many secrets about what I've got coming up.
Well, you know what?
All I can say,
all the secrets to me you want, and it's their own fault if they didn't watch the behind the scenes show number 2.
This is true. This is
very
true.
Need to be on here whenever we do a BTS and pay attention, because Ray's going to give hints.
Right.
I think you just gave a good one. So,
well,
yeah, we're going to have combat.
I mean, heading into episode 2, you guys are definitely, I mean, it's to be expected at this point in the podcast, but heading into episode 2, you're going to be getting your first level, picking your class. I won't tell you how this comes to be, but the option is going to be available for everybody to pick their class, change their minds. I know a lot of the players have said what they want to be, and they've kind of geared their characters towards that. But there is the opportunity to say, you know what, instead of a wizard, I want to be a warlock. Something along those lines if they really wanted to.
Exactly.
And we hadn't got to it in the recording. I was going to put it into episode 2, but one little tidbit that I had the players do before episode 2 is if anybody's ever played the Fallout games, they have a little test at the beginning that you get to take, which alters your attribute scores. And I created one for our lovely players, a nice little quiz about their characters, which altered their ability scores. And I will say by far, Joe gave me the funniest response, and it worked so well. But I sent him the test, and within seconds, I got back the answers, and it just said B. B for all.
and some explanations. Well, I think there was one I refused to answer because I was like, I'm going to be a paladin. I would never do that.
Yep, there was one like that, and I took that into account, and I had to create a whole new option for should you not want to go that route. But it was amazing to see just from that test where your mindset was, and all the listeners are going to get to hear that in the second episode.
That's because I take my drugs every day. Everything prescribed.
Well, somebody's got to.
And my doctors prescribe a lot of medications. And so they sometimes mix funny and cause strange things.
Nice. Well, I mean, it worked in your favor this time around.
Okay, well, we'll have to remember how to handle you better each time. How do I play Ray on this one? Oh, I know.
Right.
And my character dies now. He was first level and dies. Oh, shit. I shouldn't have played Ray.
I mean, one of the things that I really want to focus on in this game that we didn't get to the last time we did a 5th edition game is I want you guys to have more character freedom. I want you to be able to say, no, I don't want to do that this time. Last time around, it seemed like the story was really kind of centered around 1 or 2 characters, and everybody else was just kind of supporting cast. And when I do a game, I really like everybody to have a piece of the limelight. Right. And so I really took that into account this time around. And there will be situations where a character will have a little bit more center stage. But everybody's going to have a part in every episode. And I will drop the tidbit that entering into episode 2, Selwin is going to be center stage.
Selwin or Strider, yay! That's pretty good because
Selwin. I'm getting your characters mixed up.
That's good because Mailwood, even for all of his power as a battle mage and counsel to the queen and everything else that he was, had pretty much gotten regulated to just being artillery in combat and ignored until he was needed. And there were a couple of times I thought when they start screaming for fireballs, I just kind of step back and watch because I was noticing that hitting the creatures, the one doing the most damage was the battle mage. Was just okay, boom, you felt that, didn't you? And stopping and thinking, okay, what kind of creature is this? Which spell should I really throw? Oh yeah, he takes more damage from ice damage. Okay, I'll throw that kind of a spell. I hate to say I wasn't seeing a lot of that, other than I'm just charging in and hacking to try and be the first one there and get the attention.
Yeah. That happened a lot.
So I really enjoyed the campaign where the game where we got the genie, the water genie, because
Mm-hmm.
that first half hour of the game was me by myself while the other players were somewhere else.
Exactly. It was personally, I enjoyed that too. It was nice to be able to give Melwood that moment in the sun where I felt like he had such an in-depth backstory. He had so many options, and I feel like he just got downplayed, and
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I will say, if anybody has heard the episode, or maybe you're going to go back and listen to it, there was one particular moment where his fireball artillery really saved the day. They were in the Council of the Raven Queen, and a portal got open and a whole mess of soldiers came in. I mean, I had this whole encounter planned out. This was going to be the best battle ever. And Joe goes, I'm going to do fireball. And okay, so I rolled their saving throws, and every single one of them failed. And Joe did almost maximum damage,
that was a
as I
great
recall.
roll. Yeah, just little powdery, ashy soldiers sitting there.
Yeah, just like the burned on imprints behind them on the wall.
Yeah, it was really great because I don't think any of the other players had ever even bothered with spell sculpting. Because the first time I used it and did it, they were like, "Is that how that works?" And you were like, "Yes, that's exactly how that works." Because I'm dropping fireballs at our feet when we've been overrun, and they're like, "What?" I go, "No, you're covered. I'm spell sculpting to protect the four of the party." That's how I measured it out. So those four that are in the blast radius are protected. And they're like, "Oh, okay."
Right. I mean, that was meant to be like a half-hour battle at least, and you ended it in like 10 seconds.
And then I made some comments about, always forget about the artillery, don't you guys? Yeah, never give him credit.
Yes, you did.
He's bad back there. Don't ever make him mad. Hope the queen never says wipe them out, because he could.
And that's what I really enjoyed about your characters, is they were very well thought out. They had a purpose as well as a story. You weren't built for just one thing. And your story wasn't so character focused that it was like, oh, I have to give Melwood an entire episode of himself. Like, you were able to pull the other characters into your story as well.
Tell me where the chief druid
I just loved
it. Oh, you're afraid.
Yes, that was a.
Well, we may have let him do what? You what?
That was a good episode too, where Melwood got to take part in the druid festivities.
Yeah, they were all fun. Like, "What's a battle mage doing in druid stuff?" Well, his best friend is the lord of the druids. What's his name? Oh, yeah. Snap! Yeah, we know that name. Nobody ever tell Melwood we lost him.
Yeah. Yep, they all kind of took a step back in that moment, and they're like, "Oh, this guy means more to the group than we thought he did.
He does a lot more, and he has a lot of knowledge."
Mm-hmm. And you did. Your character had the most knowledge out of every character that was playing, and they never took advantage of that.
I could ask questions of the queen, the Raven Queen back home as necessary. No, never. But nobody ever had a question for the queen. So my cool little bird sat, silver bird stayed on my lapel. I think I used it once for a question, and myself.
You did.
And every time I'd be like, "Anybody else? Come on." But it was. I don't think most of that. I don't know how long they'd all been playing. I could see some lack of experience there with some of the players, and then I could also see some. I'm going to be the badass player, and that was a fight between two or three of who was going to be the baddest ass character. And I just sat back and said, "Yeah, you all can believe it because I know it." Kind of an attitude.
Right. I mean, and that all depends on what you want to define as the baddest ass character, because honestly, somebody who can run in and fight with swords or shoot with a bow or even cast just damaging spells, that's all fine and dandy. Yeah, you might roll the highest damage on dice, but that's all
Right.
you're good for.
You need a balance.
You always design characters that can do that as well as have a pertinent place within the story and have knowledge of the world that you're in.
Uh, I think I never actually, until like at the last game we played, or maybe it was the second to last, with the dragon. And after the dragon is, downed, I finally gave them like Millwood's full title because somebody made a disparaging remark. And I was all like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You speak to Millwood at Belfador of this Wizard's College, Battle Mage of the Silver Queen, the Silver Raven Queen, advisor to, just gave off all these titles. And they were like, oh, that's how you were able to help take that dragon down so quickly.
Yeah.
Look, it's a white dragon. Okay, hang on a minute. Let me get the right spells ready.
Right.
And they were just in shock. And we got to work on looting. In the old party, the looting was a little one-sided. I think Selwin is going to demand that party looting is spread equally amongst the party this time. And since he's the only one with a real weapon,
he will make them listen. That's great. Yeah, I mean, I'm very, very, very eager to see how Selwyn really progresses here, because I personally, in my many notebooks, have a lot of like very nice situations for him to really shine
or really screw up.
And right. And I don't know what your plans are as far as like long game. What is your have you put any thought to what your little oath is going to be?
It's going to be, to follow his tenets and all of that, but to restore justice to the entire realm, all by his little self,
right,
and to personally end the rule.
Right. So you're going with the I don't have my player's handbook right handy, but actually I think it is the Oath of Justice. It's like the iconic paladin from old.
The old school paladin. Cool. Gonna go hunt this guy down if I have to and fight my way through all of his minions and hordes.
Nice. Now, are you going to be exclusively using a spear and shield?
You'll eventually make it to the standard platinum looking plated knight with paladin with the sword of, unless you screw me over and make that my holy avenger when I get to that level. Your holy avenger is a spear. I mean, I ran a paladin, got up to the level to finally claim the holy avenger in a campaign years ago when I was living in England. And, he was longsword specialist, two-handed sword specialist, that kind of thing. And the Holy Avenger that came to him was a short sword, which he had no idea how to use this knife, as he called it. Every time he had to pull it out, I'm going to have to use the knife. You've seen this paladin in armor. It's bulky and huge. And then this little short sword comes out, because it was like older than a gladius in style. And, it had two great abilities. Could be thrown for an automatic hit once per day. And then the other ability, not so great for my character, if he sacrificed a level of experience, it could become a sword of death. So we played for another year and a half, 2 years, the same group, same party over there, and we'd been hunting down a demi-lich, who was extremely nasty and powerful, and just all this stuff. And we finally caught up to her, and the whole party charged in. And of course, you know what happens when you get too close to a demi-lich. Start making your saves. and everybody's
Right.
1 to 4 life levels per round, and my paladin is standing in the back where we came into the room, out of range, and the DM's like, "What are you doing? You're the paladin. You need to get in there." And I said, "Just watch." And everybody swung all their weapons and everything else, and they all bounced off. And I went, stone skin. And the next round happened, and they all lose another 1 to 4 round, and they all swing their weapons, and it's like they all bounce off. I go, contingency stone skin. First stone skin falls, second one goes up, because I knew how this DM played. And then first character swings at it, it causes 1 point of damage in the third round. And I go, "I've been holding my initiative this entire time." And the DM goes, "Oh, that's true. You've been holding for over 2 rounds. Go." I said, "I sacrifice 1 life level to make this a sort of slaying, and I throw it for 1 automatic hit per day." and he failed to save.
Whoops.
For the demi-lich and fell over dead.
Oh.
And he's like, "I gave you that sword because I never thought you'd do that." I said, "Well, they all lost 7, 6, 5, 8 levels." I said, "I lost 1. By the way, what do I get for pretty much single-handedly killing a demi-lich?" I went right back up the level.
That's awesome.
So, it's a matter of think. Gotta think, Look at the situation. Even a paladin can be smart and not charge in just because it's an evil creature that is going, I can't beat that. That doesn't mean I still have to go fight it.
Yeah.
Just because it's evil. You can sit back and you can think. And I think our players in this group have got that down. I think everybody started thinking, agree. We do a lot of stuff for gags and fun and to make the audience laugh. The cooks are doing serving trays while we're out in the field, trying to hide from the enemy army. Here, everybody, have some cheese, have some meats. We got to get our strength up. That was cute. The barrel maker and the box maker arguing over who had the better method for transporting their stuff while we're trying to hide in the field from the bad guys. I'm just wanting to tell them all, shut up. Shh, we got to be quiet. Right. We don't want them to see us. Oh, great. Here they come.
Yeah, here they come. Oh, boy. Yeah, it was definitely a wonderful ending to the first episode. I thought that was perfect. It really kind of set the tone for the group in general. You all are just some chaotically funny people.
Chaotically funny, but lawfully.
I know. Right. You definitely have your work cut out for you with this group. His
first quest ever was there in the village, and that was to keep the barrel maker and the box maker from killing each other. Which is why he chose his guard post directly between their homes. Yep.
Which worked very well. Too bad for old Crazy Pants living in the garbage heap out back of the inn. Nobody really knows what happened with him, but
I doubt he was found. Maybe he'll dig through the garbage like that to find him. And he was pretty nasty when he came out to talk to
us. Yeah. Well, Joe, I think this is a good little place to wrap this up. I have to get over to Shattered Dungeons here in just a little bit. We go live at 9:30 EST on Twitch TV. I posted that on my Facebooks on the Leo effects and all of that. But before we wrap all this up,
and absolutely, he's got absolutely for me.
But before we wrap this up, yeah, I definitely want you to let everybody know all of your good stuff, like your socials and things. I got to promote mine. I want to hear yours.
Facebook, Joe Cahill, director, producer, or under Steamhouse Entertainment, which is the production company. Please go check out the web pages on Facebook for Night Mistress, The Last Battleship, which is a sci-fi thriller I have just submitted to the studios in one of the studios in LA. Big sci-fi thing. Really looking forward to getting that going, and Ray will be at least doing some voice acting in it, if not more. Woo!
Woohoo!
Then there's over on Instagram, Steamhouse Entertainment, Twitter, which I don't use nearly as often as I should, is Coffee Steampunk. and of course, right here at One Crit Wonders, and a show I do with Ray and one other friend that we do every week called War of the Stars on Wednesdays, and it's also live, and hopefully we'll see some of you there tomorrow.
Yeah, we do War of the Stars, if you can't figure, is a nice little Star Wars podcast, and we kind of talk about everything, even stuff that they deem as not real anymore or not canon. No. We don't care. We talk about fan theories, real theories, our own theories.
We all love the books, the Legends theory, time period. So get in there and join us. We just did Force Fest. We were a guest panel on Force Fest.
Yep.
So, we finally noticed. That felt great to get noticed and get asked to do Force Fest. It was a big deal to us.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun being on the other side of the table at a convention, even if it was virtual.
I've done the other side of the table a few times, and it is fun, especially when you get the audience participation we did on Force Fest. That was great.
Yeah, that was really wild. All right, Joe. Well, you take it easy. I'm going to pop over there. Remember, head over to Twitch TV and check out Shattered Dungeons. Your roles in chat get to help Dave, who is a player in One Crit Blunders. If you remember him, he's Sika, the snake fella, or pretending fella. Not to be snake fella. And he's the box fella. And he is our, what they call Arc Master, is essentially the dungeon master for a game system that he created with his company called Shattered Tabletop Gaming. It's called Shattered Dawn, and we play Shattered Dungeons is the podcast. So you roll in chat, and he uses those rolls to try and kill us off. So if you're going to want to check that out, that's kind of fun. And then, of course, as Joe said, check us out on War of the Stars. We definitely like having other input. It's the three of us. We've got the rebel trader. We've got the imperialist sitting next to me here. And myself, who just kind of stays in the middle, and I will agree with whoever pays me the most credits.
Imperialist usually wins on that one. Although I did catch
but we always have a good time, lots of laughs.
And I told him, welcome to the dark side. The look on his face was classic.
Yes, it was a lot of fun. And so just check all this stuff out. There's a lot going on out there in the world right now. And, being here and doing these podcasts kind of takes all of our minds off of it. It's a little bit of escapism for everybody for a couple hours. So thank you all very much. It's been a pleasure having you popping in and talking and checking us out. We had a blast. Joe, thanks again for talking to me tonight. This was a lot of fun. And absolutely. All right. Well, we will see you all later.